predictions and stat projections. The bad news, we've got a couple upset alerts. The good news, NFL Total Access starts now. Welcome to NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. We have a good one for you tonight, as always. And I've got some Super Bowl winners with me, Michael Robinson and David Carr. Listen, upset alert is going to be bananas, I promise you. Myles Garrett joins us to talk about the Browns' huge rematch against the Ravens. Plus, he shares what it takes to defend Lamar Jackson. We're breaking down Jalen Hurts, who's getting his first start on Sunday versus the Packers. And we've got the latest on who's in and who's out. So for that, we bring in our NFL insider, Ian Rappaport, who joins us now. Ian, what's the latest on Julio Jones?
Julio Jones is officially out for this Sunday's game for the Atlanta Falcons. Did not practice this week. Remember, this has been a hamstring injury that, really he has been battling the entire season. Not sure he has ever been right since the first or so game. Of course, a big loss for the Atlanta Falcons, but certainly something that they are expecting and have experience dealing with this year. Another player whose status we have been monitoring really for the last several months, Christian McCaffrey, star running back for the Carolina Panthers. The plan was for him to get over that shoulder injury, get through the bye, and then be active this week. But the problem is McCaffrey injured his quad working out by himself, doing his rehab during the bye week. He is officially classified as doubtful, so do not expect him to play on Sunday. Meanwhile, more news on the Carolina Panthers. Curtis Samuel, they'll do everything receiver they've used as a running back too. Explosive player, has come off the COVID-19 reserve list. He is all good. He was a close contact. Expect him to play on Sunday. Meanwhile, DJ Moore, their standout receiver, also on the COVID-19 reserve list, but that is where he stays. He was a positive, so he is going to miss at least this week's game. And finally, for the New York Giants, the status of Daniel Jones has been something we've been discussing really for the last several weeks. The arrow is pointing up on Daniel Jones. He was limited Wednesday, limited Thursday, a full participant today, listed as questionable. But from what I understand, there's a lot of optimism that Daniel Jones will start on Sunday.
Ian, a lengthy list to keep track of, no doubt. Thank you so much. We have a few more to add for you. A look now at your Friday fantasy factor. So several guys questionable here, including Matthew Stafford, DeAndre Hopkins, Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs, and DeAndre Swift. Antonio Gibson, however, is out with a toe. Let's get you now to our Total Access Game of the Week.
Beautiful day for some football, man. All right, 6. What do you think?
Pound the rock.
Okay. Pound this rock.
Let's go! Dominate! Let's go! Pound it! Pound it! Pound it! Ah!
Troll chaos all day.
Go. I got you.
Mayfield throws. It is caught. Jackson keeps it. Up down. Myles Garrett does it again. Goodbye. Touchdown right up the gut.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
All right, listen up. Let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture, where the Cleveland Browns are the 5 seed and rolling into this week's game against the Ravens. Let's talk Baltimore for a second. The Ravens are the 9 seed and have the worst conference record among 9 AFC teams with 6 or more wins. So let's jump right into this one a little deeper. Let's bring in our David Carr, who, by the way, still looks exactly like that. All of his headshots, even from back in the day, look exactly the same. We still got to talk about your nighttime regimen because I need that skincare routine. All right, the Ravens and the Browns rank first and second in rushing yards per game this season, respectively. Of course, week 1, listen, it was rough for the Browns. They lost 38-6. So give us 3 things that the Browns have to do to avoid getting swept by the Ravens.
That's good. I think early on, to avoid negative plays, especially with Baker. Baker hasn't been your strongest asset on offense, but I think you got to move the pocket with him. And what I mean by that is you got to get him outside the pocket. You got to get him away from the pressure. And this always gets a quarterback in a rhythm. As you see here, he's going to have an action on the outside zone, which they run a lot. They run this play a lot. They're going to bring a submarine style, which we call it, a guy that comes behind the offensive line, underneath, and it kind of throws the defense off, and you can outflank him. You can get it to him fast. It's an easy completion, and you can see it's a big play. The other thing you can do when you start to move the pocket, you start to play action. Obviously, they run the ball a lot. You're going to get like this. Tennessee Titans, they got 9 minutes line of scrimmage. 10 guys looking in the backfield, obviously with the safety. You get a crossing route that occupies coverage, but then what you do by buying time is you can do double moves outside, which they have a beautiful one here. On the outside, it buys the quarterback time. It lets him just see it develop. And I think if you do that early in the game, you can ease the team back, the defense back off you a little bit. I think the second thing you can do is you can use screens. I think the screen game is vitally important to get that ball out of your hand, especially when you got a team that pressures a lot. And then the last thing I think that kind of goes with this, as you're playing the Baltimore Ravens, yes, they're going to run the football, but I think you have to play tight man-to-man coverage. I really think that you really have to make Lamar make tight window throws, make him be supremely accurate, consistently accurate down the field, because obviously if you let them run the football, they're going to do just what you would like to do. That's pound it 40 or 50 times. But I think that if you crowd the line of scrimmage, you play tight man-to-man coverage, let Myles Garrett, let those guys kind of go after him a little bit, make him just force the ball in there and make really good throws, I think you got a chance here. So for me, the Browns, if they do those three things, you got a really good chance to beat the Baltimore Ravens.
Who'd you mention there, David? Was that Myles Garrett you said? Yeah, because he's going to join us in just a little bit to talk about just how different it is now for the Browns from week one. We're also, David, going to pick this game still, so hold on to that. David, thank you. And tonight, don't miss a special presentation of The Express, the Ernie Davis story. It's the incredible journey of a young man who made college football history by becoming the first black player to win the Heisman Trophy. That's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the NFL Network.
Touchdown over the middle. Deontay Johnson. Josh going to throw it behind him. DeBeese going to throw it again to a man wide open. Touchdown. People have been asking, where's Minka Fitzpatrick? Baker Mayfield just found out. He's going to keep it himself. Into the end zone. Chase Claypool with a diving grab for a touchdown. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs somehow brought it in. TJ Watt gets home. Big rush. He's hit. He's sacked. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Walking to the end zone is Juju Smith. Is intercepted by Tre'Davious White. Amazing. Eric Ebron. He was Dumbo the Flying Elephant. A 5-yard touchdown throw to Cole Beasley. That's Joe Hayden into the end zone. This is Buffalo Bills football.
Time now for some Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. So according to Next Gen Stats, Josh Allen has been a much more effective QB when not under pressure this season. His completion percentage is the 5th highest in the league when not under pressure at 74.6. By the way, Allen has only been pressured on 25.7% of dropbacks this season. That's 18th lowest in the NFL. Michael Robinson with me now, not to be outdone. He also has a Flashback Friday there. Rob, come on in, my friend. You see the numbers on Allen when he's not under pressure, but the Steelers defense ranks first in QB pressures and in sacks. So, Rob, how do the Steelers avoid losing their second game in a row with all that said?
Well, MJ, you said it. They have to find a way to get pressure on the Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who I am a huge fan of because really he reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger. That's the ironic thing about this. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he reminds me of a young Ben Roethlisberger with a stronger arm and more accurate on the run and things like that. So when you look at what he's doing, he's completing 70% of his passes, 28 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can get him down to the ground, sack him, hit him a little bit, try to force him into some bad plays that we saw in years 1 and years 2 with Josh Allen, then I think they can avoid that second loss. But the great thing about it is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense, they have not been having those bad plays this year. So I cannot wait for Sunday to see where the rubber meets the road.
Oh, I like that. Who do you have winning it, though? Because I know you're breaking it down. This is what you got to avoid. But who takes it, Rob?
I got the Buffalo Bills. You know, I went against my Buffalo Bills last week against the San Francisco 49ers, and I took some heat on Twitter. I took some heat, but I thought it was a bad matchup. Thought Kyle Shanahan would run the ball a little bit more, but the Buffalo Bills came out strong. Josh Allen did his thing. I got Buffalo winning this game in a close one, though, 28-25. I think Buffalo gets the W.
It was rough for us on Twitter with Bills Mafia and Rob last week, and rightfully so. I get it. Once again, they said, stop disrespecting us. I listened to you guys. I also have the Bills 32-28, rather, the final score there. All right, Rob, thanks. And a couple of playoff clinching scenarios hang in the balance on this game. Buffalo clinches a playoff berth with a win and a Baltimore loss and a Miami loss and a Las Vegas loss. New England losing yesterday, rather, sort of it helps them out a bit. Pittsburgh clinches AFC North Division title with a win and a Cleveland loss. They can also get a playoff berth there with the Pittsburgh win or a tie, a Raiders loss or a tie. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios here going on. We will, of course, continue to monitor those and keep you posted so you look good in front of your friends. Let's pick another game here. But first, I want to remind the guys who's in first place and has been this entire season. That's right. Your girl, 123 games picked correctly to 57 incorrectly. David, right behind me, 119. And Rob, 116. It's not like I'm way ahead. And don't think I'm not mindful of that, gentlemen. So let's get into this one. Chiefs at Dolphins. Is there any way the Dolphins defense, which is playing great, slows down Mahomes and company, Rob?
Interested in seeing how this Brian Flores defense plays Patrick Mahomes, because it seems like all of the Bill Belichick coaching tree this year has given Patrick Mahomes some issues. But I still think the Kansas City Chiefs, with all of that speed, all of the weapons that they have offensively and then defensively, I just don't think that the Miami Dolphins have an answer for Chris Jones in the middle. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game 34-25. It'll be closer to what people think. But I think when you watch the game, you'll watch it and say, yeah, Kansas City's just a better team.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Dolphins will hang in there, and they'll play pretty well. Schematically, you can only do so much. And then eventually Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and those guys, they just find a way to make a play. So I'm going to say 35-24. The Chiefs just have a little bit too much.
All right, I have a terrible poker face because you guys have seen me smirking this entire time. That's right, I am picking the Miami Dolphins. It's a new segment I want to introduce to you guys. I know you heard the upset alert there. It's called the Homer Alert. I'm fine. Go ahead and at me on Twitter. I don't care. And here's why. Because this year, there's something happening in Miami Gardens, starting with, boom, X-Man, Wakanda Forever, Xavier Howard, 8 interceptions leading the league already this year.
Yeah, too early.
However, it is up to Tua now to take advantage of every turnover, every time they're on the field and make it count. I think that he will. I don't care what you say, guys. Look at me sideways. It's fine. It's fine by me. With all that being said, here's what needs to happen for the Chiefs to clinch the AFC West division. So Casey needs to win or tie, and the Raiders need to lose or tie. The best games tend to feature strength on strength. What we do best versus what you do best. Vikings and Bucks, the perfect example. No back averages more yards a game. No defense.